everybody. Good morning, and welcome back to the Monday Morning Toy Show. I am your host, Master D. Maito. Got quite a bit of news today. Um, a little bit of McFarlane, a little bit of Marvel Legends. Something that I don't normally talk about on here, which is Mattel. Masters of the Universe. But yeah, we'll get settled in. We'll get started, but. Go ahead and grab yourself a cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever hot beverage you enjoy, or morning beverage you enjoy, I guess. And let's get stuck in. Oh, it's so good, really hot. It's really cold, so this is helping keep me warm this morning. But all right. Give me 1 second here. All right, we're gonna get started right away with the. Let's see. Ooh, let's do it this way. All right. So this is from McFarlane Toys. This is DC Direct. They actually announced the following toys a while back. It was like right before Toy Show or during Toy Show. I can't remember. But these are from Batman the Animated Series. We got some figures here. This is one that they actually just announced literally minutes before. Well, not just announced because we saw this maybe a couple of days ago. But they just posted it up on their Instagram this morning. This is the Alfred Pennyworth in that line. Oop, give me 1 second here. There we go. It's the Alfred Pennyworth for that line. Doesn't look too bad. Looks pretty much just like Alfred from the animated series. The face is a little. I can't really tell what's wrong with the face. Something seems off with the face, but otherwise, I mean, for the most part, it looks just like Alfred in terms of like proportions and like his costume, his outfit, or whatever, his butler uniform. But this, I believe, is a separate figure in the line. Like I think this one stands alone. He's going to come with the figure. Obviously, he's got uh, 3 sets of hands. So it looks like some grip hands, some like open, splayed out hands, and then some fists. I guess in case he needs to rough up some baddies that come and make his dining room dusty or whatever. He's got a serving platter, um, teacup or coffee cup, the saucers. He's got the tea uh, urn, I guess you could call it, or tea kettle, and then his feather duster. This is up for pre-order right now on Target, and this whole entire line, this DC Direct line for Batman the Animated Series, is Target exclusive. Now, on to something that was announced a while back that we've already kind of seen, but figured I'd touch on it just because I really like the way these look. So Batman the Animated Series, this is a collect to build line. It's going to come with 4 figures, and then you can collect to build Condiment King, as you can see up here in the corner. This is the Batman in the wave. Now, he looks great, and I believe we've actually gotten these sculpts and these figures before, way back before McFarlane actually took over the license. But he's going to re-release them, and he's re-releasing them with new paint decos and stuff along those lines. I also think that he might be doing something different with the capes. I'm not entirely sure, just because I didn't end up ever getting those necessarily. I did get a Joker out of that line, but never a Batman or anyone else. But as you can see, it comes with this cell shading. I'm not a big fan of the cell shading, just because I always like to pose my figures different than what the cell shading would allow for, I guess. But either way, I mean, I know that there's a market for these, and I mean, honestly, if they weren't cell shaded, I would probably grab these toys. But overall, I mean, this Batman looks dead on to the series. I believe this cape is soft goods, if I'm not mistaken. But then he's also got something weird going on with the cowl, where it's lifted up in this off to one shoulder here, and I'm assuming that's supposed to be for posability, but or it's for a certain pose, but like I would have rather had it just like, lay flat against the chest. Moving on, we've got Robin from that wave. Now this Robin actually looks pretty good, but he's got some of the same things going on with the cape here, obviously. Some of the cell shading, but like the cell shading on this, I feel is a lot more subtle, just because of the darker tones with the green tend to blend in a little bit more with his actual green and stuff. But as you can see here, going down onto the boots and stuff, we got like the lighter highlight. Um, Looks just like the cartoon though. Honestly, like looking at these makes me nostalgic for the show, and that was part of the reason why I'm like, I would love to have these, but at the same time, like I just can't. I just shouldn't. Moving forward, we've got Mr. Freeze from that line. Now this guy looks pretty dope, honestly. If I were to get any from this line, it would probably be these next two figures. It'd probably be here, Mr. Freeze, and then the one right after this. This looks ripped straight out of the show. I think something wrong with the picture here. It looks like it got cut here in the shoulder, but because that's not actually how it's supposed to look, I think that's just the shoulder, or just the picture that I grabbed. But again, with the cell shading, so it kind of highlights, uh, the like material that his suit was made out of, give it some sort of a sheen or a highlight on it, especially on the belt. It actually doesn't look too bad on the belt here. Not gonna lie. Comes with his freeze ray. This dome piece is pretty sick though. It's nice clear plastic, and then you can see his frozen mug in the center there. Moving forward. Now this is the other one that I would grab. Like this guy looks freaking awesome. Like I want to say that this might be a new one for the wave, for the line in general. I don't entirely know, just because again, I was never really heavy into this line way back in the day, but this guy looks pretty freaking sick. He looks torn right out of the cartoon. Uh Comes with this awesome scythe. And again, like this is all cell shading and stuff, but like see on this, it doesn't hurt it. It doesn't make it look off and weird. Especially because like it really just kind of adds, if anything, it looks a little bit more like it's a wash rather than like cell shading. Um but he just looks so good. His sack face looks pretty sick. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say that the accessories that come with this is an unmasked head and then different hands. Um, but this guy looks good. Again, all of these guys are going to be available at Target in stores right now, I believe. And then when you collect all four, so that'd be Batman, Robin, Mr. Freeze, uh, and Scarecrow, you are going to be able to build this guy. Fans of the show is going to know Condiment King. Uh, he wasn't a huge player. He was more of a joke character. He also makes appearances in the comics. I don't remember if he appeared in the comics first or the show. Either way, this is he's just a hilarious looking villain with a really funny gimmick. He's got ketchup and mustard shooters, hence the name Condiment King. Uh, but he looks really good in this line. Again, I don't know that I would necessarily want to have him, but he does look really good. Looks ripped straight out of the show, although I feel like somewhere here in the torso, uh, he looked like he, might have been hitting the gym and skinnied up a bit, because as you can see here in like the photo or in the let's see if I can get closer up. No, okay, like in the key art or whatever from the show, he's got a bit of a belly, whereas here it doesn't necessarily look like it. Maybe it's just the way that the paint um is placed for the cell shading that kind of makes it look like he's a little bit skinnier. I'm not sure, but I like the detail in the underwear here. This is pretty funny. He's literally just wearing underwear outside of his suit. But yeah, um, I dig this line, but I just don't know that I could I could feasibly buy all of these. I want to say that they are $25 each. Each of the figures for the collector build are 25. So basically, $100 you get 5 figures. Um, Alfred, I'm not entirely sure what he's going for right now. I didn't necessarily see what his price tag was, but if you give me a second here, I could find out. Do, 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 do. McFarlane. He's up for pre-order right now at Target, and he is going to run you $19.99. Okay, so not bad. Since he's not part of the collectible wave, he's going to be a little cheaper for you. Also, too, I don't have a picture of it here, but um, also in this wave, uh, they released a Bat Cycle for Batman. Um, Seen it at Toy Fair. They had him posed up on it, and he looked pretty cool. He seemed to fit on it pretty well. Um, I believe he comes with an actual helmet. Not him, but I believe the motorcycle comes with a helmet for him to wear. So like the helmet that he wears in the show. Give me 1 second. But all right. Let's keep on moving on. We're going to stay on the same McFarlane train in the DC land and see what he's got coming for us in the Multiverse line. 1 second. All right. So this is, I believe this is Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, from the DC versus Vampires wave, or not wave necessarily. It's just from that line of comics. Uh, they've done a couple of the vampires thus far. I know that they've done Superman. I believe they've done Batman as well. But here goes. Is it Batman? I feel like there was another character that they've done, but here goes Green Lantern. Obviously, this is going to be a lot of reuse of the Green Lantern that we already have, just changing some stuff up in terms of like the hands for sure. It looks like he's got some claws, the vampire face, some like cool clear plastic like hair, as well as like this overlay or this like accessory piece that's going to go on him. I believe he's also got an accessory piece that goes over the hands here. He's in stores now on at Walmart. This previously went up for pre-order, but now it's actually in stores now. Moving on. This is one I've got to add to my collection because he is going to fit right in well with my Justice League display. This is the gold label Black Lightning. He is also Walmart exclusive. He looks really good. It's much more comic inspired. It's not 100% like comic accurate, but it takes a lot of the like elements from the comic book, like his comic book look, and just like adds that, maybe pulling some things together and just kind of making an amalgam to make him look just like this. He looks great, honestly. I've seen someone recently in a group that I'm in just pick this up, and it looks really good. You got the dark blue on the suit, the lighter blue coming out onto his arms for like the not the electric effect, but from the electric like lines that he's got here. Got this cool like belt overlay that looks like the lightning bolts. Just overall, it looks pretty clean. It looks like a good figure, and then he comes with these effects that go on his hands. Now, I could be wrong, and I didn't see all of what he comes with, but it looks like he's got. It kind of looks like he has like clearish or translucent hands, or maybe these effects are like just alternate hands altogether. I would have to take a look further and see, but that is pretty sick. Moving on. Now, this is something that was just announced. This is another gold label exclusive. This is going to be for Target, though. Um, this was announced the other day. I believe the pre-orders are going to be going up later today. If not, they probably are on or the pre-orders are probably live now. But this is a character named Wave Rider. And if you give me a second, I don't 100% know everything about Wave Rider, but if I'm not mistaken, I want to say he has something to do with the Legends of Tomorrow. Because I remember that was the name of their ship in the Legends of Tomorrow. Okay. Uh, he did first appear. He first appeared in '91 in Armageddon 2001. His name is Matthew Ryder. He has the abilities to time travel, can access a person's aura and see their past and possible future, quantum energy blast, light speed flight, invisibility, intangibility. Um, let's see. It doesn't say what teams. Oh, his team affiliation. Just says Justice League and Linear Men. See, I don't. I'm not a huge. Obviously, I'm not a huge Wave Rider fan. I don't know much about him, but for the most part, he definitely looks like he's fairly comic accurate. He looks like he might be even be updated a little bit just to kind of match the modern aesthetic. Um, it looks like he was in like the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, just as a cameo. But uh, but yeah, I mean, this guy honestly, his powers are just like he seems like that of like Silver Surfer. He's where he's like a cosmic entity. He's able to. What we got here? Shogun Rose says first time hearing about him. Yeah, I've definitely heard about him before. Like I've heard the name before, and I know that like the show Legends of Tomorrow that was on CW. Uh, they had a time ship that they named the Wave Rider, and I know that it was technically inspired by this character because he's able to travel through time and space and stuff to that nature, obviously. Um, but yeah, like I said, I don't know a crap ton about him. He seems to be like a DC cosmic character, very much akin to like Silver Surfer. Uh, Overall, he seems pretty cool. He's got these neat effects that are going to go on his arm here. His hair is like basically just like a huge flame. I want to say that this is some reuse from maybe not Atrocitus because he doesn't look like he's as big as Atrocitus, but maybe it's Batrocitus. It is. Yeah. Okay. So he's got a lot of reuse from Batrocitus from the DC Multiverse wave. Batrocitus is basically Batman and Atrocitus together. That's from the DC Death Metal. Um, but yeah, literally, I think this entire body is pretty much reuse without. Well, actually, I take that back because he doesn't have the same like overlay across the chest and shoulders that this one did. But as far as like this lower part of the torso and possibly even like his legs are pretty much all reuse. And if you're wondering what I'm looking at here, I have Batrocitus sitting right over here. I was literally looking at him thinking, I might open him today. So might get a chance to open him and we can actually take a look and uh, compare and contrast him to the Wave Rider we've got here. But yeah, I mean, this not a character that's high up on my priority list to pick up, but that's kind of the good thing about the gold label stuff and like the exclusives is like if it's a character that you don't want, then you don't have to go and buy him, because it's not he's only available in the one space. So even if you didn't want him and say you don't have a chance to get to that store or whatever like that, it's not you're not missing out. Sorry, I thought I heard my cat entering the room, but he did not. Moving forward, let's go. There we go. Now this is something this is a character I may have to add to the shelf just because of what's going on in DC and where they're moving forward with the movies. And I just, I kind of like this character in general. He's like a Batman adjacent character. This is the Midnighter. Again, he's going to be a multiverse gold label exclusive. He's going to be available for at Target, I believe. Not available at Target, but available for pre-order at Target starting today. This is pretty neat. I'm curious to see if McFarlane is going to start releasing more Authority figures. So for those of you who don't know, this character's name is Midnighter. He is essentially a pastiche of Batman within the DC universe, but he didn't really start in the DC universe. So the Authority and then characters within the Authority, they all started in Wildstorm, not Wildstorm Comics. I believe it was Image Comics that started it, but then they eventually, not Image itself, but the this particular title was dissolved into DC, I believe. I would have to look it up again. I'm sure I'm getting that wrong, and somebody will probably let me know I'm wrong in the comments. But this character is cool. He's basically a pastiche of Batman. He's a darker vigilante character. He does have some superpowers, if I'm not mistaken. It's mostly just like durability, some slight super strength. But well, not unlike Batman, because I would say some people think that Batman is psychotic. This guy is like right up front psychotic. So like he puts it all out there on Front Street. But just in general, he's a really cool character. I would love to see if we get his partner, Apollo, which is the Superman pastiche. That would be pretty cool, at least to get those two. Possibly even get like the rest of the Authority or some, figures from the Authority to start building out that team. Again, based on where they plan on going with the DC movies, the Authority is one of the movies that they announced that they will be working on in the DC films. So I'd be curious to see if we get more of these characters going forward. Let's see. Looks like if Batman and Red Hood did the fusion dance. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. He's definitely a lot more brutal, like Red Hood. So that makes some sense. He's an interesting character. The Authority overall are just like interesting characters. It's an interesting team. So I would like to see if they actually like add more to this. But moving on, we've got some more DC Multiverse. This is up for pre-order right now. This was just announced a couple of days ago. This is a 2-pack of Batman Beyond and Justice Lord Superman. I believe this is who it's supposed to be. I think it's Justice Lord Superman. Although I could be wrong, but I feel like Superman Beyond also had a costume like this. Oh, okay. No, never mind. So this is supposed to be Justice Lord Superman. It'd probably help if I just like read the name of this. read the name of the 2-pack, but yeah. So this is Justice Lord Superman versus Batman Beyond. Now this is definitely a different take on Batman Beyond. Uh, Obviously with the green, but then he's also got like he's got it looks like he has wings coming out of the back as opposed to like his normal retractable like underarm wings. Um, Either way, he looks really really cool. I would love to just get him. I don't necessarily need a Justice Lord Superman, although he does look pretty decent. This is just like I mean, this is obvious reuse. The the body is the newer, I believe, Rebirth Superman that they've been using for a little while now. Just obviously with different deco hits and then a different overlay. This chest piece, I believe, is newer. Maybe not the symbol, but definitely the cape is new, as well as the head sculpt, different head sculpt, different deco hits on the face. This is all completely reuse, just different deco hits, and then these are new. These are definitely new. Let's see. So we've got Justice Lord Superman here, and he looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I like I like the face here. His head looks a little bit big for the body, but it also kind of goes with the aesthetic of it being kind of being like animated series like inspired, I guess you could say. I mean, he's got this really strong jawline. I mean, that just looks pretty sick. And then he's got the like grayed out hair. It reminds me a little bit of like Kingdom Come Superman, but then he's got like the red out eyes for his I almost said laser vision, heat vision. And then we've got Batman here. This guy, I mean, honestly, like I already have this figure, but I'm really, really digging the paint on this. Like I'm a sucker for red and black, but something about this is just like speaking to me. I don't know. Maybe it's the new sort of line work on it in terms of the I mean in terms of the paint deco, especially on the face here. And then the wings, like I like the wings. They also look like they move. So they might be like able to you might be able to like move them in and out. I don't know though. I'm not entirely sure. I would want to pick this up, but I might leave it to fate if I end up finding it in a store somewhere. Then maybe I'll probably pick it up. But I'm definitely not going to pre-order this 2-pack, especially if I just want this figure here. But um, like I love Batman Beyond. He looks. I was always a fan of the show. We got from Shogun Rose here. Dude, deadass. I was about to ask if Batman Beyond had any action figures. Oh yeah. Um, this was maybe a couple of years ago. Um, he's got wisdom teeth pulled. Oh, you're talking about Superman, right? The Justice Lord Superman. Yeah, he's got a little bit of fat cheeks there, but yeah. So DC Multiverse released a full line of Batman Beyond figures. I want to say it was at least 2 years ago. In the line, it came with Blight, Batman Beyond, Batwoman Beyond, and Shriek. Right, that's his name, Shriek. And then it was a collect to build wave, and you could build. It was like a Joker bot, basically. Um, what do you call it? They also had a bunch of chases of this, like chase variants of this Batman. So it was one with the mouth and then one without the mouth, basically, like the helmet. Um, the Batwoman Beyond had an unmasked head. Same with Shriek, he had an unmasked head, and I want to say for Blight, he might have been colored differently. I can't remember. I could be wrong about that. I know that they're reusing the Blight body now for the Atomic Skull that they've got coming out soon, but moving on. All right, so we're out of the normal DC multiverse now. Now, this all of this stuff. This is something that I got emailed to me. This is a collaboration that McFarlane has with a company called EQL, basically giving people an equal chance to get their like chase figures, I guess. Or this is what they call, like, I believe it's the Platinum Edition, right? Yeah, so McFarlane Platinum Edition. This is the Brainiac from Injustice 2 that they previously released, but it's in a chase variant basically. So he's just colored differently. His chest piece is, not all silver. He's got like these purple arms, some different deco hits. But other than the paint, he basically comes with everything that the other one came with. He looks cool, not gonna lie, but this isn't for me. This isn't something that I'm necessarily looking for. So um, not bad, not bad looking. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's just the same normal MSRP price. It's just because they're so limited. Um, I believe I got the email because I am part of like I haven't subscribed, I think, to McFarlane's website, um but yeah, I mean, at some point they will release them and it'll be out in the world. So um moving on from Brainiac, we've got Jim Gordon as Batman from Batman Endgame. Again, complete reuse from that figure. It's a bit of a skinnier Batman who also had some reuse. But basically, this is Jim Gordon, Commissioner Jim Gordon as Batman. He's going to come with the same head, but he's in a different, different flavor, different color. Instead of being all black, he's in a dark blue costume. And then I believe that this is a different color. The grappling gun is a different color than it was in the original release. Now, I'm a little bit more excited about these, but I probably won't be putting my hat in the ring to try and get these. So these were figures previously released. I believe they're out in the wild now. These are the collector's edition figures, but they are in the platinum edition format. So we previously saw Hawkman in the collector's edition. By the way, McFarlane's collector edition runs you $10 more than the normal figures, and it comes with a stand for the card. I don't know that that's a justification necessarily for a $10 price hike, but I don't know that he's going to be releasing them in the normal, like in the regular way for the normal prices or not. Either way, I do really want to get the Hawkman as well as the Firestorm and Sinestro. This character over here, this is Abyss, also previously released. This is like a newer Batman villain. But just kind of go over the colors of these characters really quick. So in the original release of Hawkman, he was in a much darker, like toned suit. Like all of this was like black and gray, I believe, or like dark blue. Much more metal colored on the helmets. His wings were even like a darker, like gray or metal color, just to kind of reflect the nth metal. But here you got him in his classic colors. You got the yellow, you got the like orange or brown, his green. His wings are even like the normal like feather color, or like bird colored. This honestly looks really cool. I would love to get this one specifically. But if I don't get it, I don't get it. I'm not going to be like trying to find it. I'm not going to be hunting for it, I guess I could say. Sinestro, I like, but I don't like this. So in the original, or the first release, the non-platinum release, he comes in his yellow, his Yellow Lantern like suit, which is basically this, but the green is yellow, and you got the the Sinestro Corps symbol on his chest. This in the Platinum edition, he's got the green suit, reflecting his time as a Green Lantern. However, he still has the Sinestro Corps symbol, which I don't necessarily like. I would have liked to seen him in an actual like Green Lantern suit, but I think that the way that they are kind of doing this here, it kind of looks as though uh like the Sinestro Corps symbol is like starting to break apart the Green Lantern Corps uniform, just based on how they got the decos here. Um, but moving on, we've got Abyss. Now Abyss was basically like all black and like dark gray before. Now he's in, he's got like a white hood, and I don't know if this is red or orange. It looks a little bit orange to me. Honestly, he looks kind of similar to Taskmaster with this coloration going here, and I'm wondering if maybe that's what they were actually going for. Could be, could not be. I'm not entirely sure, but that's definitely like the vibe I'm getting from him right now. And then we've got Firestorm. Now, in the original release, he was in his normal colors, which are like the orange, the white. Um, there's like the two shades of orange and then the white and stuff. Here we've got him in the more modern color, which was like the red suit, the orange cuffs, and then like just the white symbol and stuff. Um, so we actually got the better version, I feel like, in the normal release. This is not a bad. It's not a bad like likeness. It's not a bad like coloration or whatever. But I would prefer to have the one that's a little bit more like classic comic inspired. Now, if only they did the Sinestro in like his actual classic blue and black coloration, like his blue and black suit without a symbol on the chest, that would be even better. I like the Sinestro. My OCD is getting triggered, but I guess he's turning. Yeah, no, yeah, I agree because like it irks me to see that he's got the Sinestro Corps symbol on top of his Green Lantern uniform. Uh, I would have loved to see him like in an actual Green Lantern uniform, have like the green ring and like the green effects and stuff, as opposed to like the green with the yellow effects and stuff. But I think that what they're trying to go with is is definitely like, oh yeah, this is him turning into the Yellow Lantern. But let's see here. Moving on. 1 second. All right. So previously discussed the Marvel Legends series, the newest build a figure wave for the Void build a figure. Um, uh, this is just like a re-announcement that they were going up for pre-order. I believe they just went up for pre-order on the 3rd. They're currently up and available on Hasbro Pulse. Um, Again, in this wave, you're going to get Savage Namor, Namorita, The Vision, Crystar, Justice, Power Princess, and Black Panther. I went ahead and put my pre-orders in last night. I was really only looking for, the Black Panther and Vision. Um, I went ahead and put one in for Power Princess though, because she's like the best looking Wonder Woman that has ever been released thus far. Since McFarlane took took over the license. Um, he's put out quite a few Wonder Women rather, but none of them have quite like scratched the itch of like looking 100% like Wonder Woman. Like the one I have in my display right now um the Wonder Woman from, I believe it's last Night on Earth, something like that. Um where it's Wonder Woman, but this one specifically, she's wearing the helmet of fate. That was the chase variant, I believe, and then the other one was the one where she has like she's just like has a mohawk, and she's unmasked and has the mohawk. Um, we also gotten like the Endless Winter Wonder Woman. We got the McFarlane inspired Wonder Woman, and all of them. Oh, as well as like I believe we've gotten a couple of movie Wonder Women. One from Shazam, one from Wonder Woman 84, and then Wonder Woman 84, where she's got like the golden eagle armor on. But none of them have quite hit the mark in terms of like being really comic accurate. It was announced, I believe, it was beginning of the year. If not, it might have been at San Diego Comic Con that it was announced that they were working on one. They even showed a render of it, but still have yet to see it, and I would love to actually get one. They look like Happy Meal toys. The Black Panther with the McDouble. That's bogus. I think it's just this picture that makes them look that way, because in the actual pictures, and I went over these previously in a previous episode, like, you can tell they've got the full on or not McFarlane, sorry, the Marvel Legends scale and everything like that. Um I will I will not lie though, this wave in general is kind of a disappointment, just because like none of these characters really seem to have anything to do with one another. I mean, Namor and Black Panther, they were rivals in the comics, and they all were also both on the Avengers. Same with, Namor and Vision, they were both on the Avengers. Justice, however, is a new warrior. So is, Namorita. They're both new warriors, but also, according to people who were new Warriors fans, they are not in their proper costumes. Power Princess has nothing to do with any of these characters, and neither does Crystar, as far as I know. Um, but and as a whole, none of them necessarily have anything to do with one another. But again, I think they were just like, you know what? We can't put these in one or another line, or we don't have enough to like build a wave around one specific character. So let's like kind of put all of these mismatched ones together, and then release them with the build a figure parts. So um I at some point I might end up getting this Namor, but that's going to be one, like, if I see him out in the wild, I'll probably grab him, because I really just kind of want these overlays and stuff. I'll probably end up mixing and matching some pieces from him onto my normal Namor. But um, moving on from that, I believe we're going to be going into Mattel now. Yes. So something that I don't normally cover, and this is actually something that I don't actually collect, but I am a fan of the show that recently came out. Well, that came out a couple of years ago. I'm speaking, of course, of Masters of the Universe Revelation. That's on Netflix, the first series, or first season rather, of the like revival of Masters of the Universe rather. Um, that honestly, that show was, I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty decent. It was a fun watch. And then very soon they are going to be releasing Masters of the Universe Revolution, which is going to be the sequel series to that show, or that season, or whatever, and kind of pushing the envelope forward with like these characters. So um, in the Mattel Masterverse line for Masters of the Universe, we've got the Masters of, or the Motu Revelation, Tila as the sorceress. She honestly looks pretty good, and I believe this was previously announced. Um, I want to say she's probably reusing some parts from the Tila as well as the sorceress that was previously released. Um, Not entirely sure. I don't know all the reuse and like stuff that goes on in this line, so I couldn't necessarily tell. I want to say that she's got pinless knees and elbows though, so that's pretty neat. Um, she comes with her sorcerer's staff as well as some splayed out hands, and she's got the grippy hands. Looks like it's going to be in the package. Here's a dynamic photo of her. Moving on from there, we've got Skeletor. Now, this guy looks pretty freaking awesome. Spoilers for the end of Masters of the Universe Revelation. Towards the end, obviously, I should have said this beforehand, but so Tila became the new sorceress, and then Skeletor was captured by the techno cult and was basically turned into a cyborg by the motherboard. And this looks like this is what he's going to be looking like in the show in Revolution coming up. Um, this is kind of a cool like accessory. You know, he's got like this extended arm with his like ram skull on it. He's got like these like cool ass like dog, not dog legs necessarily, but he's like cool feet. Uh, I don't know. I kind of dig it. He looks pretty sick. Here he is straight on. So his head sculpt, you can tell like he's going to be way different here. So he's got, you know, like the cyborg type, uh, like attachments or whatever to his skull face. Here's the body with like all of the like cybernetics and stuff. This is pretty cool. I like this. And again, these feet just kind of get me. I don't know why. They look really sick. They got like talons, and it looks like they might even be a toe hinge on there. That's kind of cool. Hang on a second. Um, okay, moving forward, we've got Trapjaw. Now this is the new Eternia version of Trapjaw. Um, I'll be honest, I don't know the differences in the lines. I just know that one's going to be more based on the show, one's going to be based on like the main line, but like updated, which is I believe what the new Eternia stuff is. Um, so here you got Trapjaw with his cybernetics, obviously, and then he's got a hook hand, looks like a clamp sort of attachment, as well as like a blaster attachment, and he comes with this little short sword. There you go, in a dynamic pose with him. It looks like he's going to be able to like at least hold his blaster in his belt. It looks like. Let's take a look at that here. You don't see that on here, but I wonder. I mean, see it clear as day here that he's got like a clip here. Might even be in the back. That's probably why I can't see it. He's like twisted in the torso there. But moving on. Now this is pretty cool. This is a Man at Arms with his normal head sculpt, which is like what we see him as most of the time. But then he also has like a younger head sculpt, or at least a shaven head sculpt. And then he also has two different helmets that you can put on him. So that's really cool. Obviously, you got like the chest overlay you can put on him to have him fully armored up. Again, this is going to be the Masterverse New Eternia Man at Arms. He comes with his signature mace, but then it looks like it also like this top head part is going to pop off, and you can put like a chained mace at the top. So that's pretty sick. Honestly, like I've seen, because I was a fan of the show, I've seen a lot of the Revelation, like the Masterverse Revelation line in stores, as well as some of the like newer stuff, like the new Eternia figures. And I'm always tempted to buy them, but because I don't have a huge attachment to Masters of the Universe, I never really go for them. I never pull the trigger. But like seeing stuff like this, it really kind of like makes me like, oh, maybe I should buy them. But I I shouldn't. I shouldn't dive in. I shouldn't dive into that franchise. I don't. I feel like I shouldn't dive into that. That line of toys. But we'll see. You'll see probably in like a month or two. I'll be like, yeah, I've got all these Masters of the Universe figures now. Um, but moving on. Oh, here's another shot of Duncan, aka Man at Arms. This is him fully armored up, and then you'll see here he's got different head, different helmet on, still fully armored. Then he's got his like swinging mace, so that's really cool. And then this is going to be again Masters of the Universe Revolution. This is He-Man from that series, um, updated from the very first He-Man that we got from the Revolution line from Masterverse, or Revelation line rather. Sorry, from Masterverse. From what I understand, it's people are saying that the proportions on this are a lot better. Like his head seems to fit better with this, with the sculpt and with the like overall proportions of the body. He's going to come with the fully armored chest piece as well as an axe. A damaged, looks like a damaged like insert for here. It looks like this might pop out and you could put the damaged one in there. Although I'm really curious as to why he doesn't come with the Sword of Power. Um, Very interesting. Not entirely sure why that would be. Maybe it's because they assume that you probably got the first version and you don't necessarily need to keep getting the Sword of Power in every iteration of He-Man. I could be wrong. I feel like that's something that almost always has to come with him, though. Uh, Moving on, we've got Triclops here. This is from the new Eternia line. Um, Really cool concept for Triclops is he's got the disc or the disc that you could spin on his face here basically. So he'll have different eyes. So like you got this normal one, looks like you got this more angry eye, and if I'm not mistaken, I want to say on the sides, he's got like two more eyes that you can spin around and see. Looks like he's got like different eyes on his bandolier here. He comes with two swords as well as the grip hands, and then it's just his fists. Uh, Moving on from that, we've got Orko, and now I proper forgot this guy's name. It is. Give me 1 second. I literally just saw his Gwildor. There we go. So this is the Orko Gwildor 2-pack. We've got Oracle version of Orko here from the end of Masters of the Universe Revelation. And then we've got Gwildor here, and it looks like he's in this same aesthetic. So I don't know if that means that we're getting him in Revolution, or if they just put the movie figure in here. But he doesn't look like he's necessarily from the movie line, so we might be getting him in the show. Um, for those of you who don't know, Gwildor was basically the movie's like substitution for Orko. In like when I say the movie, I mean like the 1985 Masters of the Universe movie. Uh, but yeah, so like I don't really know why they went with him instead of Orko. I want to say it might have had something to do with effects and like budget or like costuming or whatever the case may be. But either way, we've got Gwildor, we've got Orko. They've got some neat accessories. This is going to be Orko's staff, if I'm not mistaken. Gwildor's sort of blaster, but I don't know what's up with this sword here. I don't know if this is like a newly forged power sword. I'm not entirely sure. but it doesn't look like this would be something that fits with He-Man because he looks smaller than what he would be able to hold in his hand. Here they are here. Might be like a newly forged sword. I don't know. Could be wrong. Oop. And then this is also from the new Eternia line. This is Mechaneck. So his head's gonna pop off, and you can put all of these, extending heads into the neck part, and his head will be like up to here. Comes with his like mace, his shield, and a couple of hands. I've heard some people saying like that you could buy. I wonder if you could buy multiples of him and then just like add links to the neck so that his just neck just keeps getting taller and taller. That'd be really cool and something to see. Kind of be like the Stilt Man from Marvel Legends when that Build a Figure wave came out, where they made the Hands Ninjas the army builder, and they came with the Build a Figure piece, but it was literally just like the straight part of his legs. So like the more of those you bought, the more you could stack your Stilt Man up. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I want to say, is this the end? Or do we have something else? Nope. Oh, okay, right. So something else that we will talk about here. Give me just a second. I just want to check. Do I have any new comments? No. You know what, guys? I completely forgot. I do not have any music playing here. What is wrong with me? I'm just like all over the place here. All right. Um, so those of you who are fans of in the toy community might be aware of a YouTuber named Shartimus Prime. He's like one of the bigger like toy YouTubers for sure. And he had previously tried to kickstart his own line of toys. Unfortunately, in the beginning or the very first one, it was unsuccessful. But he kept at it, and he changed some stuff up from the last time. Changed some things up on his prototypes in order to, and he actually got a prototype in this time. And so he just recently relaunched his Kickstarter. And honestly, like these look like really awesome figures. So this is going to be from the Street Humans line. It's currently up for Kickstarter right now. Each one of these figures, I believe, is going to be $28. And then he's got a goal of $120,000 in order to fund and make these figures. It's not based on any specific license. These are all like his own creations and stuff. The idea behind this is that they're highly posable figures, and then they'll ultimately all come with different like accessories, different clothes, different heads, different head options and everything. And all of these will be like completely swappable, so you can basically build these characters however you want. It's mainly the torso and the leg, like the bottom portion of these, that you'll be able to like pop off and like add different stuff to. Like you could swap the torsos out. You'll see here in a second just how these characters look and everything. But I should have taken notes to. I don't remember 100% like what these characters' names are, so you'll have to bear with me here. I know that one of them's name is Elago, if I'm not mistaken. Give me 1 second. It'd be easier if I just read this verbatim to you. So yeah. So actually, this very first character's name is Elago. He's coming with his like more angry head. He comes with the grip hands as well as fists. He's going to come with his Lucille style bat and a pistol. And then this next character. Oh, 1 second. This next character's name is Eon. He comes with similar accessories. He has looks like a sword instead of the bat, an angry head, the fist hands, the grip hands, and the pistol. So these are the two main ones that he's selling currently on the Kickstarter, or that he's pushing for on the Kickstarter. Hopefully he can get these to 120,000, because then he'll, and push past. He's got stretch goals and everything. If we push past and get onto the stretch goals, he's got some really cool accessory or like customization, customizable abilities and stuff. So he plans on these being pinless elbows, pinless knees. Give me 1 second here. So we've got the articulation breakdown. So this is honestly, like, the way that these sound like the perfect, perfectly articulated action figures. You got a ball joint with a hinge at the neck. You got butterfly joints in the shoulders, shoulder hinge and swivel, pinless double jointed elbows. You got a diaphragm ball joints, an abdominal crunch, and then the waist swivel pivoting. On the arms, you've got a bicep swivel, wristed swivel hinge. This is horizontal hinge for weapons hands. So that would be like, could be wrong. I thought horizontal was like this, not, and vertical is like the ones that I don't know which one he plans on doing. I want to say that it's just it's probably, well, it says horizontal, so it might be the ones that are just like in and out like this. Basically just in and out like that. You've got the ball jointed hips, thigh swivels, pinless full jointed knees, horizontal ankle swivel with the ankle pivot, and toe joints, as well as a vertical ankle hinge. Basically, like, the front forward, rocker articulation, and then like an actual toe joint. So that's pretty cool. Honestly, like every bit of articulation in this scheme is like some of the higher end, articulation in terms of like 6-inch action figures. I mean, like Marvel Legends only, every figure is different. Every figure has something else, but like none of them have this sort of articulations. If I'm not mistaken, you get butterflies on a bunch of them. You'll get like the abdominal crunch, but not a lot of them have. Actually, I don't think any of them have the waist swivel. Very few of them have like the diaphragm ball joint, but I know that like the DC Multiverse figures, those have that sort of ball joint at the torso. Obviously, and this is all subject to change, but he's really pushing for the articulation breakdown to be just like this, so that's pretty cool. Moving on from there, so these are going to be some of his stretch goals. So the Alago stretch goal, or well, the first stretch goal is going to be the Alago customized pack. So you're going to come with like the alien head. This is like a bat head, basically. Comes with a couple of different head sculpts for like variations on like variations in head or like hair rather, and face like sculpt. Different hands, so it looks like alien hands, or a set of alien hands, and I don't know if these are gloved hands. Could be wrong. But then he's got, this is like a hoodie in the background with the hoodie sleeves, and then a hood that you can put up or have the hood, sitting down. That's his first stretch goal, and then the second is going to be for the Eon. This is going to be for Eon. This is like a lion aliens head sculpt. at the alien hands, different like splayed out hands, and then your different uh, different head sculpts. This one right here looks almost exactly like Shartimus Prime. Then you got like a jersey with like the like a long sleeve underneath, so that's kind of cool. Again, all of these things are going to be swappable. So like if you were to get like, even if you were to just get like the two the two base figures, and we got to the stretch goal, then you could make these figures up however you want. I mean, imagine if you buy 4 of them, then you can have one that looks like each one of these. The customization possibilities are almost endless. And as far as like the further stretch goals that he's got going for this, it's going to really kind of up the ante on the customization front. So like here is the third stretch goal. 1 second here. Let me just read this right off of here. So the third stretch goal at 1 second. You would have thought I'd been more prepared for this. Third stretch goal at 160,000. This is Edel, the basic figure. It's going to come with everything that you see there. So like the separate head, a chain and a pistol, and then the different hands. And then from here, we've got at the fourth stretch goal at 190,000. This is Eris. Comes with the different head, pistol, machete this time, and then the different hands. And then if we clear the 190, get all of these, and then the next stretch goal after that is going to be at 212,500. You get Edel Deluxe accessory pack. So it's going to be 1 alien head, 2 human heads, 2 arms, a tracksuit torso and sleeve, 3 sets of hands. But that, of course, is so obviously, in order to get these stretch goals, you would actually have to buy each one of these figures, right? So the base 2 figures, $28 a pop, and then I believe each one of these is going to be, I want to say that they're 28 as well. But again, you would have to buy the base body. And the accessory packs, I want to say, are. Give me 1 second. It doesn't say how much the accessory packs are, but, or at least those accessory packs. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how much the accessory packs are going for. I know that on his website, or on his YouTube rather, he has explained the price breakdown. It could be something like, oh, never mind. It says $18 per deluxe accessory pack. It's honestly not bad, considering the amount of things and just again the customization possibilities and the swappability like capabilities. It's pretty cool. So again, this is the 6th stretch goal at 225,000. You get the alien head for Eris, the 2 human heads, 2 arms, a tracksuit. I'm sorry, that's not tracksuit. This is a leather jacket, like overlay, and the sleeves. And then beyond that, I don't have any other pictures, but he does have some goals for he does have some goals for other if it does stretch further beyond that. So like seventh stretch goal is going to be a black turtleneck buck body, and then if anything goes beyond that, he's going to add other stuff like hats, helmets, whatever sort of accessories that he can kind of come up with. He's going to try to do. So honestly, like Shartimus Prime he's a really excellent like YouTuber. I love watching his reviews. This honestly, like, I may end up trying to back this. I want to at least get the two base bodies, and like if the other stretch goals, like, if we get to any of the stretch goals, I'd like at least to get the two accessory packs. Maybe even beyond that, but like, really cool concept, really cool idea. Like, if I were to ever get into toy making, I would definitely like. He's doing the base body that I would love to have on like accessories, or not my accessories, but more like my action figures. But yeah, guys, that is all for the news portion of the show. I've got a couple of things to open, and I mean, I've got a lot of time today for the most part, so we could get into opening some figs. I've got a couple here. So this is technically the 2-pack, but I don't have the Peter Parker in this because I didn't want the Peter Parker. So I didn't buy this directly from Hasbro. I actually somebody that I know on it's actually Dave Wonder's Discord. Emilio Lopez, E-Man. So he bought the 2-pack, didn't want the Smythe, but wanted the Peter Parker. I didn't necessarily want the Peter Parker, but I really wanted the Smythe because he would look awesome in my Spider-Man display. So I bought the Smythe off. So it just ended up working out that way. This is already previously opened, obviously, but he left, Smythe intact intact for me. Resting beautifully in his. Hold on, give me 1 second here. You guys have to see this. He looks like he's tucked comfortably in his bed or in a coffin, even. Like, that looks pretty cool. But yeah, so let's get this guy out. Accessories, which I think are just hands, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just a couple of splayed out hands for the boy. It's a little stiff. It's a lot stiff. It's okay. He'll be getting a warm bath later, so loosen him up a little bit. But this guy looks cool, man. I was such a huge fan of Spider-Man the animated series growing up, and I don't know why he was like one of my favorite villains from it. He's obviously he's in the comic books. He looks a little bit different in the show than he does in the comics, but this is how he looks in the animated series, because that's what this 2-pack is based on. Obviously, if you couldn't tell, like Peter Parker is like ripped right from the animated series. But like, look at this guy. Can we get him? Can we get a good look? This looks ripped right out of the animated series. I love his these actually shoot like lasers in the show, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember what they do in the comics, but in the comics, these like fins are actually spikes. But that doesn't necessarily ruin it for me. Again, like I love the show, so like this is nostalgic for me, right? It's got the fins here as well. Again, these are supposed to be spikes from the comics, but these freaking puppies right here, these talons, these feet, it's pretty sick. It's got pinless knees and elbows, which is pretty standard nowadays for any new figure from Marvel Legends, not anything old. Any old bucks and reuse that they use there, they are pinned. So I like. Got a nice diaphragm joint here. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with this dude. Like the head sculpt is, not as monster looking as I would like, but in the show he didn't. In the face, he didn't look very much like a monster. In the comic book, he looked like more monster than human. So, but like pretty good likeness. One of these days, I'll get used to doing this, but today ain't. Honestly, this guy looks. He's gonna look great in display. Comes with fists out the box, but swap this out for. More dynamic hands. Now the other thing too that I wish they would have done with these hands is actually add some like talons or claws at the end of these. Just quick going over the articulation. So it's got the hinge and swivel neck, so you can look down about that much. You can look up only so far because that mullet is hindering him. Hinge and swivel at the shoulder, up to about right there. Go all the way around, so into the laser shooter here. Double pinless elbows get you up about that far. Muscle is a little big there. Hinge and swivel wrists go in and out. The ab crunch goes about that far back. Let's see. That far forward. He's got some good range there. Waist swivel. You got some really good like forward kick. Back, not so much. Out. It's not bad. Not great, but it's not horrible. Swivel at the thigh. Double pinless knees, which are a little stuck. As Robo from the Foosh would like, he would like to see kick his own ass, and he can. Ankle articulation, you can go back about that much, forward quite a bit, and he's got the front facing pin for rocker. The one thing about this that would be even better in Marvel Legends, always toe articulation, and this would be sick on this character, especially because like he could, it's got like these raptor claws, so it'd be cool if you just like lift some up further than the others, right? But again, accessories out of the bags, he just comes with the two hands that I have on here now. Right out of the box, he has the two fist hands. But this guy is going to look really good on my Spider-Man and the Sinister Six, or his Rogues Gallery really shelf. I wonder if I could get another head sculpt for this that's a little bit more comic inspired. Otherwise, pretty happy with this video. Now, I've got a couple other things to open. Like I said, we talked about the Batrocis earlier. I could probably crack him open. Or do I want to go ahead and crack this bad boy open? Talked about this last time, not last week, but last time on the show. No. There we go. Talked about this last time on the show. Literally, once they announced, it was like almost as soon as they announced it at the Hasbro PulseCon, like within the same week, after pre-orders went live, this thing was basically out. I think it's because they had these like ready in the warehouse for people. So, do I want to open this first, or do I want to just crack open Batrocis to get it out of the way? Because I know I'm going to have some fun. Let's crack open Batrocis just to get him out of the way. Friend Danny, if you watch this, just like messing around with him because like he keeps his in the boxes. I am definitely not that kind of person. Other than when they're sitting in here in storage, they are sitting in the boxes, but they get open. Oh, and I did not grab my nippers out because got McFarlane's patented every single like place that I can put one is going to get one. Although you know what, this one's not as bad. It's not like one on his neck, but this one's like not even. Where is this one? This one's like underneath the waist. Back here. Get this side and pull it out. All right. Surprised with the tape on these. It's just frictioned in. That's kind of cool. Leave those hands in there. They're just fists. I will argue that most figures, unless they are like brute characters that mostly do some punching, fists are just like, man. I like more splayed out hands and grippy hands. Like, I try to keep them as dynamic as possible, holding any weapons or whatever that they can. All right. So this is Batrocis. This is basically Batman as a Red Lantern, or mixed with Atrocitus. I know that this is from the Dark Multiverse, from the Death Metal line, where there's all kinds of, well, maybe not even just the Death Metal, it might be Dark Knight's Metal, but from the Death Metal, Dark Metal line of stories. Yeah, I mean, it's a little taller, a little bit taller, because I mean, Atrocitus, honestly, he's a towering figure, but he's a towering person. Like, literally stands probably about 7.5, 8 feet tall. So this is kind of a shrunk down version of him, but with like a Batman head. It's symbol there, it's basically like the I'm assuming Red Lantern mixed with the Batman symbol. This is all right, but McFarlane's legs do something weird towards the calves a lot of the times where they kind of bow out. And you can see here, I don't know if it's supposed to be that way or if maybe over time it's kind of warped, but and of course he doesn't have the calf cut, so these things don't like actually twist, which sucks. Or does it? Hopefully I don't break this thing. Nope, no, it does not. All right. Overall, just kind of a cool looking figure. I have most of the Dark Knights, as well as some of the Death Metal. Like I have Death Metal Batman, Death Metal Wonder Woman, and Death Metal Superman. This guy's gonna look good with all of the other Dark Knights. It also comes with the Red Lantern of Hate, or not Hate, sorry, right? Rage. Goodness, talk there for a second. Ooh. So this is just made basically clear plastic and stuff, shaped like a lantern. But what's really cool is they've engraved on the top here. I don't know if you don't see it. Kind of can. And engraved in the top there, the actual a Red Lantern symbol for the Red Lantern Corps, rather. So that's pretty neat. But as far as because they're definitely reusing this for the Wave Rider. Like, basically from this down is all reused for the Wave Rider. The arms, I believe, are going to be mainly reused. The hands are going to be different, obviously. The only thing that's going to be different is the top part, because the Wave Rider doesn't have these shoulders, and then the chest piece here is a little bit different. So he doesn't have the symbol. This, if I remember correctly, just kind of came straight across, didn't divide up kind of like these two. So yeah, so that's going to be what's being reused there. And I mean, again, that's part of the reason why they do the gold label stuff, is you can get some reuse. They they put it in one store, so if it doesn't sell, it's not a massive letdown or whatever. If you really are a fan of Wave Rider, when he does come out, you can go ahead and get him. So, going over articulation really quick. This is a standard, McFarlane thing, and honestly, these are still using some older things from McFarlane, but you can only look up about that much. Look down quite a bit more. Diaphragm ball joint, twist, twist, twist. It's got a rubbery overlay over it, so you can't necessarily see the waist, but he's got the waist swivel, and you can go back about like that. Forward, down about like that. Okay, well, not break my toy. Butterfly joints at the shoulder, goes back about like that. This is a bigger chested character, and of course, the overlay here kind of hinders his forward motion with his arm, so it's not really going to come forward that much. Bicep swivel, double elbows. Honestly, are pretty easy, pretty easy going. It's about like that. McFarlane's ball swivel or swivel hinge swivel wrists, to where you can kind of turn them in which way. Legs go up about like that. They go back quite a bit. That's one thing about McFarlane figures. Their legs go back quite a bit. They can kick back a lot. That's mainly because they don't have a solid plastic piece at the crotch. This is just a rubbery diaper sort of material, right? That's kind of go out like that. They always are able to kick out quite far, especially on big characters like this. Pretty easy, pretty simple. The one thing I wish that McFarlane did is a thigh cut here and a calf cut, but I have seen some workarounds and some like customization where you basically just like cut straight down in here. I think it's like just past, I think, the like pin or whatever, but it's not anything that I've ever done. That's not ever necessarily wanted to do either. So again, the calves are kind of buckle, but got the ankle pivots, goes back, forward, front facing ankle rocker. And McFarlane's got the like, I believe that you can twist these around any which way and really kind of get some pretty wacky sort of like visibility in the ankles. But then you also got toe joint, which is stuck a little bit. Toe joint. Now let's see, can he hold this dimension? Imagine so. Should be pretty easy. It's not like in there. It's not like really gripping it, because I mean, like, drops right out because it's an open palm. But like, I mean, for what he needs to do with it, which is just hold it like this, or hold it up and out. It does pretty well. So, yeah, that's Batrocidus. It will look great with the rest of the Dark Knights. Stand up properly, sir. Usually don't. It's the one thing about these McFarlane figures. Sometimes, like, they don't stand very well. Sometimes you can get them to stand really well. Others, not necessarily. You almost need the stand that he comes with to like really get them to stand up well. What world is going on here? Okay, Dark Hell Woods. I don't know who you are or what your time you out there, my friend, because I would not like people talking like that on this channel. And then the real logo editor. Anyway. All right, guys. I mean, let's crack on. I'm gonna jump into the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Bro, seriously? Did you just hop on a different account? What the hell? Okay. What on earth is going on here, dude? Okay. Anywho, so we've got the Power Rangers Lightning Collection from Boom Studios. This is the Omega Rangers 4-pack. I was really surprised by how like quickly this got delivered out, dude. I guess not super surprised because we all kind of speculated. A lot of people were getting ship notifications almost like right after they pre-ordered. So I will say, when this got delivered, they did like the worst freaking pack job ever. It was literally just in a big, huge, giant box with a little bit of like the netting wrapped around it, and just in the box like that, it was like all loose. Bro, what? Freaking God, like what the hell? Anyway, so this is what the package looks like right out of the box. Can you see it? There we go. All right. Grab this out. I believe that this is just got taped in here. This looks like it's all the weapons. The Blue Ranger looks like she's kind of sticking out a little bit. She wasn't quite. All right, bro. Listen, get out of my freaking chat with this shit, okay? Like this is. It's annoying. It's stupid. Just fucking stop. Really pack this kind of. Oh, you know what? It's probably be easier to do this. Let's, no, almost it. These are hard to get out. I don't know why they. Now it's not my job. I just doing this for fun. So wow. Okay, let's get these guys out of their paper wrapping here. So I'm going to take a look at the figures first, and then I will I'll crack into their weapons and effects once we kind of get a look at them and stuff. So get them kind of fixed up because their legs are all like Chueco, and just the way that they got them set up in the packaging and stuff, you know. So if there's anybody in the chat who's actually watching and it's not like a bot or whatever this person is, I'm sorry for their ridiculous comments and stuff. I just, at this point, I'm just kind of ignoring it because I don't know how to permaban them, especially because they are like seem to be just continuously, you know, making new accounts or being on new accounts and just spamming the chat with just absolute horrendous dumb shit. So sorry for the actual viewers actually trying to sit here and watch this. This is the live chat I'm speaking of, by the way. Which, if you're joining me live, thank you again. Thank you for joining me live. All right. So we got all 4 Rangers out. That's Zach, Trini, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say her name is Kaya, Blue Ranger, and then obviously Jason. I'll probably do the I'll do the articulation for one male, one female, because they're basically the same bodies, right? So they're all gonna have the same or similar articulation schemes. Overall, man, like I'm digging this because I was really digging the Omega Rangers from the comics. Like the head sculpt on these, they're all fairly unique for the most part. No, actually, I take that back. They're all pretty much the same. I think it's just the deco that's different. Although, yeah, that's just a painted online, I think. But so, so they got the standard Power Rangers Lightning Collection articulation scheme. They're all pretty much the same. They've changed it up a little bit over the years, mainly for the females because they were at one point just like the single hinged, elbows, but they've since moved to the double elbows, and then obviously they've gone pinless as well. But you've got the diaphragm joint here. The waist hinge can arc back so much. So you can get these guys in some pretty cool like flipping poses probably. Forward, about like that. That's the one thing though is they don't have waist swivel, so there's no like turning them in and out, but that's what the diaphragm is for. Legs can go out about that far, kick out about that far, way far out there, and then back, not so much back. Again, hard plastic piece for the crotch area that kind of hinders the back motion, but honestly, like the front forward motion, oh, he's got drop down hips. I don't remember this being part of their articulation scheme. That's cool. That helps with some like articulation and like movement and stuff, so that's really sick. The thigh cut, Double pinless knees. Can I get the bottom part? Jason's own ass. Ankle goes back about that much. Goes forward only about that much. Then you got the front facing pin for rocker, which lets you do shit like this. Oh, you know what? I didn't go over the like shoulder articulation, but shoulder is going to be hindered a little bit because of the like shoulder pads on these things, but they are a little bit softer, so you might be able to like get them around like that. It's just gonna have to be out a little bit, so it's not straight up and down. Goes out about that far, a little past 90. Bicep cut. Double elbows. Pitch. Nice. Then the wrists. Up and down hinge for weapon holding hands, which is always nice. Then the female bodies, again, they're very similar to the males, just on a smaller scale. They changed it up quite a bit from like what they had before. Before, like I said, it's just a single hinge elbow that would rotate in and out, and it would only go up to like 90 or a little past 90 and stuff. But like, oh, did I miss something on this? Oh, the neck is on. Dumbbell joint at the top and bottom, but the bottom doesn't seem to move very well. So like, I don't really know the point of that, other than like being able to like twist the neck in different positions. But that one's a little new. I don't, unless they've done it on more figures recently that I don't know about, but this thing's not quite straight on. So okay, so like the seated position is not quite straight on for the neck, so I don't know like that. So it's the same thing for the females here. So let's pull this off. Dumbbell joint. Top and bottom of the neck, so you can kind of twist around, right? Only going to go up about that much. You can look down, only about that much. Not really getting a whole lot of range out of the heads and helmets, but that's kind of what you get when you have helmeted heads. It's not like a head like this where you could kind of have the back part out and be able to like up like this. So shoulders go out to about there. You're gonna rotate around. Again, this is a softer piece, so you're able to get it around. Bicep swivel. Double elbows. Let you go up that much. A lot better on the females. Way more. A little bit more. Not way more, but up and down hinge on the wrists, weapon holding, diaphragm joint. It's a little tighter on the girls, I will say. It's not a whole lot of space, so you can't quite get that much. But hinge, if I can get the waist hinge. Oh, this is locked up. That's not good. Oh, somebody's getting a bath. Jeez Louise, that is really tough. Okay, I don't want to mess my figures up, so let me see if Trini is the same. No, Trini is actually a little bit looser. So you can go down about that much. Arc back. Wait. Kick out that much, or kick up rather. Pick out about right there. Back. Actually, it's not so bad. It's also kind of like out and to the side a little bit, but like straight back, not quite. But out and back is not bad. Thigh cut. She also had. Do these also have drop down hips? A little bit. Not as big as like on the male bodies, but you get a little bit of up and down motion there. Double knees. Hindered a little bit, so she can't quite kick her own ass. Calf cut. Ankle goes back that far. Goes up about like that. Front face facing pin for rocker. Let's do crazy shit like this. All right. So now let's crack open their weapons and effects. See if we can get them holding these things in some cool poses. Oh, I forgot that they came with different hands. I think they're just fists though, so like we just said about the fists, I'm not really too keen on fist hands, so it's not like they're going to be posing with those. Here so I don't lose them. These effects pieces, especially this one for the hammer, is really substantial. This thing's big old huge chunk of plastic. Like, oh, this is somebody's head, and knock them straight out. So we've got the hammer for Omega Yellow, aka Trini. This is the effects piece that it comes with. See, that just kind of fits right in there. Like, want to stay there? Oh, there it is. Yeah, see, look, stays on there. Making a liar out of me. It stayed on there. I'm sure this would be a lot better, obviously, if it's just like sitting like this. That way it's not like dangling. But I mean, it still holds it for the most part. A little bit of a metallic sort of feel to the head there. Kind of like some swirly plastic. Little yellow deco hits. Sort of a wrap on the, what would you call that? Handle shaft? I don't know. Let's go to Kaya's weapon. She's got the trident. This, honestly, I don't know how well I like this because it looks short. It looks really small. I guess she's a bit smaller, so I mean, it kind of comes up to about her shoulder, right? But I feel like it should be a little bit taller. Actually be able to get some, like, swings out of it, you know what I'm saying? Whereas this, like, she basically would have to kind of hold it like a little bit of a sword or a broom. But get blue going up from, like, the partway from the top all the way down to the bottom. Got a gold, like, pommel. Show. Gold tips. Like, white in the middle. And that is going to come with this effect piece. I know I've got probably two of these for sure. One comes with the Astronema from the 2-pack. Actually, I think each Astronema comes with this one because she has like a. She also has like a spear weapon. So this is literally just going to go on there like any way that you can kind of find. So kind of like this. Or wait. There's like a twirl at the bottom here. This can go up and through like that. Honestly, I feel like this would stay on this weapon better than it does on Astronomus. On Astronomus, it doesn't seem to stick very well. This, not bad. I don't typically put effects pieces on these characters when they're in the shelf, unless I feel like it's needed. But for the most part, they're usually just holding their weapon in a dynamic pose. So that's gonna come off of there. Now we got the change Kusari Gamma right for Zack. This is nice and flexible. Not most, but there's times like I know that like Daredevil comes with like a couple of string sets for his billy clubs or whatever, but they're not super. They're very static. You know, they're flexible, but they're not meant to like move very much. Whereas these, like, even though they have like a bend in place, like I could probably twist these up and like, you know, they're not going to be moving around a bunch. Like, look, see, literally stays in the position I just put it in. So that's kind of cool. And those come with these effect pieces, which I want to say is reused from the In Space Black. He comes with effects that looks like these. I would have to like pull those out and look again. But his lunar staff has something similar to these, I'm pretty sure. But like, just like slashing sort of effects. But then you got like the black handles with like gold accents, silver. This is just like straight silver paint for the blade. And a nice, you know, silver on the chain. I'm missing some paint on these. And right there, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but like that white spot there in the center, that is missing paint. It's okay, it's black. I could just go for it with like a marker if I really wanted to. And then just a standard sort of basic like katana, but this, I don't know, it just flows very well. It's very like straight. If only he had like a back sheath I could put this into, that would be really sick. But that's the katana there. Nice silver paint, very straightforward, like red handle with a like goldish hilt and a little bit of black on there for accent. But and this is also a reuse effect. They use this for a lot of like sword effects. Just kind of have to slide it in whichever way you can. Giggity. Just like that. There it is. Pretty easy, simple. Stays on there. Just get to swinging it around a bunch. Oh, not even that. Nice. Very, very good. All right. Let's get these guys with weapons in their hands, maybe in a little bit of a pose. That'll be good for the day, guys. You know what's cool is I've got a bunch of like other sword accessories, one of which is like a little Tonto blade, so or a little Tonto blade. What am I thinking of? Oh, the name escapes me, but I could probably grab one of those and have him holding it. And so he's got like a double sword thing going. One thing with this Like I love the design of these guys with the like sort of shielded or like the shoulder pads are like the shielded crest, kind of like how Tommy had for in his Gold Ranger form. But like it kind of hinders what I want to do with this guy here. So let's see, can I get it over this way? This is gonna go awkward, but do what we can do here. Guys just kind of get to see me play around with these things. I love being able to pose these up, and like the one thing I really like the posability that the Lightning Collection has, the articulation scheme rather, because it gives you some more dynamic poses, because these are supposed to be like martial arts characters, right? As opposed to like certain Marvel Legends, like Wolverine is a little limited in his articulation, whereas like somebody like Spider-Man, you can get him down into crazy poses like this, or get him into like really awesome poses and stuff. And so they do something similar with these guys. They are a little hindered in some spots, but like for example, like they don't have the like they don't have like the wrist or the waist swivel, so they can't like turn this and that way. But that's kind of what the diaphragm joints use to like sort of make up for that. But if only they had that like rocker in the waist, that would make it so much better. But like further on this knee, up like this. This doesn't quite go down the way I want it to. Let's this here. It's usually a little bit of a balancing act to try and get them perfectly still, but he's not going to stay. That's okay. One thing I will say from the Omega Rangers, I'm really surprised that Zach didn't come with the hammer, and that Trini got it instead, and that she didn't get these. They're a little bit closer to their weapons from Mighty Morphin. So, like, obviously Zach has the axe, the power axe, and so that's a little bit closer to like the hammer. Whereas the Kusarigama, even though they're like they have a more of a handle and a bigger blade, these are closer to like her daggers, right, from Mighty Morphin, right? I haven't read the comic all the way, so I don't know like if there's a reason why they got those weapons or not. Either way, like they sort of switched weapons for the most part. Whereas like Jason still has a sword because he had the power sword, and even though Kyle wasn't the Blue Ranger on Mighty Morphin, the Mighty Morphin Blue Ranger had the power lance, which is more or less like a staff that he could break apart into two. This is very similar to that because it is like a staff type weapon with like a lance at the end. So Blue got the lance, Red got the sword. These guys sort of switched up their weapons. Let's go with Trini here, and I'm going to get her in my standard like axe slash hammer carrying pose, which is just going to be her sort of got this thing slung on over her shoulder. Very basic, but very effective. These freaking heads. I wish I could have them leaning back a little bit, so I'm looking up like, yeah, I got this. Come on, elbow. Simple enough. Just need her to kind of. There she goes. Oh, another cool pose with her would be kind of like dragging the hammer behind her. Let's go for Kaya next then. So, trying to think of a pose for her. It'd probably be like maybe stabbing downwards with this thing. Like I said before, when these were first announced, I would like to see the Lightning Collection come back, and hopefully the hiatus isn't too long. But B, that they do probably like I would imagine just a single release, maybe even a 2-pack of the newer Blue Ranger, which is a technically like a cat alien, like an actual cat alien. Which would be really cool. Oh man, I forgot her waist is blocked up too. She needs some heat. So I probably won't be posing her up too crazy just because I'm not going to be able to get the waist articulation out of her that I want right now. But later on, I will definitely have to give her a bath so that she can loosen up her waist there. But just a quick little simple pose. Now for Zach with these Kusarigama, I don't know what I want to do. There is a pose that I saw that I remember seeing at least in the promotional art for this, and that's sort of actually it's sort of this pose here. That's shown right down here. So like sort of him jumping. He's got like the Kusarigama coming down like this, and then the chains kind of behind it. So obviously, he wouldn't stand on the shelf this way because I would probably need like a stand to have him like kind of jumping out this way, obviously. But let's see what I can do here. Let's see. Again, this is kind of hindered just because of the shoulder pieces here, but really can. See if I can. Hello. down in there, like so. Yeah. Oh no, don't do this to me. Oh, it's just too short. Crikey. Oh, maybe not. I got this. Just had to adjust the arm a little bit, you know. Come on. Oh, just found something out. Just literally found something out right now. So apparently, these things can come off the chain. It's got a little mushroom peg, little mushroom tip peg there that fits right into the end of this. That would have made my life 10 times easier if I knew this going in. Oh, it's okay. It's the fun thing about playing, guys. You get to learn stuff like this. So let's get that going there. Turn it around this way. And just like so. Downwards. Now, because of the chain, it's not going to be as like loose going across this way as I would like. But I can try to get at least around the back of this. That's not work the way I want it to. It's pulling quite a bit. Let's get it down through here. But like, yeah, you know, something like this. Something crazy. There we go. And as we just saw, if I don't want to pose them like this or with the chain at all, I can just pop this chain off and he can just come on. Darn it. Just a little something like that, you know. Now I do want to make a quick comparison because I noticed something here. Oh, I could be wrong. You know what? I might be wrong. I might just be seeing it in a different light now. But well, what I was trying to say was, for a second, it looked like Zach's gold was darker. It almost looked copper as opposed to like the others who had a more gold color. But they're 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 all pretty much just like a copper sort of color. But if I had to choose a favorite here, I mean, because they're basically the same figures, right? But just little differences here and there. Uh, Red's my favorite color, but I like those Kusarigama on Zach quite a bit. And at the same time, I do love a good hammer pose. So I don't know. I don't know which one I like more, but I know that I like this set as a whole. I would love to freaking again get more of the Omega Rangers. You know, the Cat Ranger, the Death Ranger. They also had like an original Omega Rangers team that had a couple of different characters on it. Let's there was another team prior to them, but if I'm not mistaken, it had silver. They had a silver ranger on the team, which that character was. He ultimately becomes the Death Ranger. Um, there might be a gold one too. I don't know 100%. I see someone here that's, or I mean, it says gold, but I don't know if that's true. Like an actual, if that's actual art. Oh, you know what? No, I lied. Okay, so actually, the Silver Ranger, or rather the Death Ranger, who's now silver, used to be gold. But either way, well, that's all I got for today, guys. Those are all the toys. I've been at this for a little while now. Those are all the toys I had to open, or that I wanted to open on stream, rather. Got a McFarlane, got a Marvel Legends, got some Lightning Collection. Again, those are like the three main lines that I like to collect. So got a little bit of something from each. Went over quite a bit of toy news, but yeah. That's all I got for you today, guys. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you would like to see me talk about in terms of toys. Maybe I could start covering the news on those things, or giving my opinions on certain things in the line. Let me know if you think I should start, collecting Masterverse figures. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe on the Full Nerd Academia YouTube, Twitch channel. Find us on Instagram, X, all those sorts of things. Trying to think if there's anything else I got to say. Catch us again on the Full Nerd Academia podcast. Not sure when we're going live this week. It might be Friday. We might be moving it to Fridays. Otherwise, it'll probably be our regular Sunday. But I'll see you guys next time with a cup of coffee Monday morning for the toy show. See ya.